Hey there, and yes, this is me doing a special video just for you, and you're probably the only one who will get to see this. This is my Workbench, and these are my music editing tools. And so Megla Sound is for a sound sampler. That probably won't even work. Let's check that out. That was a sound sampling software that came with my Megla Sound thing. Let's just see what that does after all this time. Megla Sound. Not much going on. Load sample, make directory, free sample. So it's a sample editor basically. It's not bad. Do you want to quit? So let's see now. Play 16 plays 16-bit samples, 8 and 16-bit samples, and ProTracker Sound Tracker doesn't work. I'll come back to those later. Those are my mods, those are my samples. That's a player. So that leaves ProTracker, OctaMED, and OctaMED. So we'll go into the one that I use least, which is ProTracker. I just use this for ripping. I just use this for playing stuff basically. So it's really confusing, as it would be. And every single one of these music editors is basically a task in itself to learn. So main menu, play that. Is it going to do anything? Does it seem to be doing anything? But anyway, I think you get the idea. Ah, there you go. That this works, and I'm unfamiliar with it to the point of excess, and all these things look absolutely confusing to me. So let's quit out of that, because the one I used to use is OctaMED 4, and OctaMED 4 was the last best OctaMED before it went crazy with tons of options. So here we go. Can't load med paths, don't worry about that. So this is OctaMED 4. It looks very, very familiar. Most people are familiar with this. So go through the options. These are the block options that you remember. And if we go to the block menu and new block, let's add 5 and go back to the play, we can then plus that, insert, plus, and hopefully we can have 3, 4. Now you would think that that would add 5, but it doesn't for some reason. 4, 5. So that's 5 music blocks created. You can insert and delete those. And then these along the top are actually speed. So if we play that song, it will actually play quicker, or it should do. If I can drag this up, like that. And this is like a fine tuner where you can speed it up and slow it down. And some modules, you can change this per block. So some modules really mess around with this per block, so that it goes faster and slower. And really bum 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 bum. So that's easy. You can actually change that per block somehow. Volume hexadecimal, leave that. That's the Amiga's filter. And these are actually the special things that it does all over the screen. So we'll load up a file in our mods directory. It doesn't really matter what we load, and that will also change the colours. So this thing, if we get rid of E1, well, that's the thing at the bottom. E2 is the things that come up from the bottom, and E3 is this kind of pattern. So those are the special things. Let's see if this thing has actually got anything worth. Continue. Right, so you can see those on and off. Put the Amiga's filter on and off as well. STS, I've actually no idea what that does, so we'll stop that. That's obviously to play it, play the block or play the song, and continue the song or continue the block. And so this is the channel mode. We're on 4 channel mode at the moment. We can change that to 5. Do you want half samples? No. 6, 7, 8. Well, we can have up to 8 channels on this thing, believe it or not. For some reason, it doesn't seem to be changing it. But if we load up an 8 channel song from ones that I found on the PD soft disk, which I had back in the day, so check out that music, report, load song, and it gives us the 8 channels from OctaMED, the 8 channel music editor. That's why it's called OctaMED. So we'll continue that song. And these things no longer work, all these extras, so you can turn all those off in 8 channel mode. There's a lot that doesn't work in 8 channel mode, including MIDI, but you can see it does actually play 8 channels all at the same time, and they are programmable. Though I have no idea. Well, it is now set to 8 channel mode. So if we just load up another song and get it back to 4 channel mode, hopefully. It doesn't really matter which one it is, so long as it plays it. Hold on. Parent directory, no. Parent. Toxic. That'll do. Well, I'll review so, here we go. So let's go through the menus. Speed, of course. Play a song, also play it from the beginning. Speed, you can play that in different speeds. Usually this one in the corner plays it at 2/3 speed. This one plays it at half speed if you really want that, or normal. Of course, these are the speed adjusters on the top. So once again, have it slow, mega fast. But you can see that auto adjusted back to the real speed because that auto defaults at the beginning of each block. So this is the instrument panel, and you can fine tune instruments. I'm not quite sure what most of those do. Load them up, you can move through those. I'm obviously using the Amiga's keyboard. Most of those aren't actually labelled, but there's also the sample editor which plays those, and you can see that that loops at the end. You can change that loop, or a bit of a long loop. Very easy, press the space bar to stop that. So this is the files, this is the normal default to play button. So if we go back to play so that we can find where we are, we can play that. Oh, made the mistake of playing the song from the beginning again. You can also click on this, which shows you the actual notes they're playing. And you can add notes by dragging and dropping those onto the timeline, and curves and quefs. So delete. So you can do those by stage if you really want to do. And well, I'm not quite sure what all the rest of the buttons do. I'm not quite sure what this does either. Something to do with the synthesizer, because the MIDI options, yes, you can have up to 16 MIDI channels working at this thing at the same time. And then clicking on MIDI active will mean that you can program that thing in. But for the normal mode, if you just want to play something like keys in this case, what you need to do is to select edit, and that's a small E you can see there, a tiny little E, which is edit. But if we go to, the edit menu, edit on also switches that on and off. So with edit on, you can play it. In real time. So if we use the cursor keys up to go back to that, go back to play, continue. So it actually works. And if you wanted to do chords, you could hold down the chord button and press up to 4 keys at the same time. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 keys at the same time. Stop that, see what that sounds like. there. So that's the chord button and the edit if you wanted to change those. And it says F2 there. Let's change that to an A. And let's see now, in the edit we change the octave, so it's playing A1 at the moment. Change that to 2, it'll play A2. That's 3, 3, 4. Some of these don't go any higher. 5. No, try that again. Some of them do. So that's a C5. C7 sounds relatively the same. Whoops, C9's broke the program. And, well, C8 there. Well, it's not very good, but we can get a 7 out of it. And so, G7, G1. And so, in the instrument panel, there's also a transpose button. That will transpose it up there. All the way up. And this thing is the volume, I think. Yes, that's the volume that you can play of it. Which is, well, let's just check that out. See if we can spot it. It's one of these numbers, I think, by the side is the volume. But anyway, that's that. You can transpose it all the way up there. So maybe that. I'm not quite sure, but most of these bottom out somehow. And you can fine tune the transpose here as well. You can apply that to the sample, synthesizer, or both. And in the trans you can play a transpose as well. So let's check that out again. Oh, that's a break, that's a C. So we can also transpose that all the way down. Oh, we can now transpose that all the way up. So let's check out the top. C1. So you can do that by octave as well. Half up and down, not quite sure. Seems to have added something there. Music people will know exactly what all that is about. But play transpose is in the transpose menu all of itself. So you can play stuff. These are the instruments that we've gone through. You can fine tune those. The blocks, of course, you copy paste entire blocks. And whilst we're in the block menu, you may notice also these things along the top. This is where the magic happens. This is the standard 4-block track editor that we can see. This changes it to the 8 tracks that we saw at the beginning. You can see that we're turning those on and off by clicking on those. And we also have a 12-track version. Just to blow your mind, there is also a 16-track version of the editor where we can edit, copy and paste all 16 tracks all of itself, which is quite incredible. But back to the 4-track. And edit. Change the octave of the thing. I'm not quite sure what that means. You can, well, that's the keypad. You can select by instrument or a separate map of its own. Define a map. And edit on and off, of course. Space equals delete. You can add that on and off. Just put the tracks on and off. And that will also, if you notice, add these on here. So if we play this, again, usual mistake. It's not going to play much, but if we add these on, we'll then add the 4 tracks. And get rid of them. So that's basically that. I don't know why they're there. There is 16 of those, I think. And so you've seen that. The edit, self-explanatory. The miscellaneous is where you get to change the screen colours. And I think redefine keys. You can save preferences. Have a slow mouse option. And this is where you quit the program. You have to quit and then confirm. Just in case you've wandered into the miscellaneous tab just by mistake and you've clicked on quit just by mistake, and then just by mistake you've just lost the whole program. So they put the confirm in there, which as far as I'm concerned is rubbish. When you want to quit the program, you can change each of the master volumes on the MIDI, each individually, and 16 channels of those things, although I think that this program only works in 4 channel mode, which is this thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, with the MIDI. I'm not quite sure. Transpose we've seen, range of course, cut around blocks, we've seen direct input of notes onto the stave. Let's click on edit. Well, it doesn't appear to be editing for some reason, but you can do that somehow. You can simply drag and drop them in there. And synth again, no idea what that does. Sample editor, pretty functional, not as good as Megalosound. And S-list is your special drives which you couldn't load at the beginning, which are your modules, and you can add and delete new drives, make and delete directories, want to save files. So that's basically OctaMED. This is the name of the sample that's playing at the moment. I don't quite know how to get that back to the beginning. Pressing left and right mouse buttons seems to be doing something. I'm not quite sure. And oh yeah, back and forward I guess would help with that. It always helps to come back to the default play before you do anything, and then you know that it is going to work if it is going to do something. But anyway, that's samples, the chord, and whatever, and this thing at the bottom is mainly redundant. So that's OctaMED, and like I say, to quit you have to confirm that. So that's not bad. And OctaMED 6 finally is the final thing which works, which is pretty mind-boggling, and it's for experts only. It's in 4-channel mode. You can see, if we go up to song and edit the options, we can have up to 8 channels, but the 8-channel mode is not compatible with MIDI according to this. So that now has 8 channels of sound, and these are the instrument lists. You can load up an instrument just from here, and so parent samples. Don't think it'll load any of my actual samples. It might load a wave beat, so we'll see. Well, edit. I'm not quite sure what that's actually doing. Well, there's something there. So that's where you load your instruments and play it on any of the 8 channels. Play, continue, stop, all the rest of it. And then all the rest are in drop down menus. So that's pretty self-explanatory. Display is where we find how to, well, about the track in general, the tempo of the track, the song. Well, there is a sample editor in there as well, so we can see that white noise, whatever that is. It doesn't appear to have played that sample. Synth editor, of course, which is pretty simple, well, similar to the other one, with all these windows that open and close. MIDI report editor. And song edit options is where we find that. We can change the name of the track in here. Play transposure, that probably is the speed of the entire thing. And in the block, cut, copy, delete, paste blocks. Track, same thing with tracks. Instrument, we can load an instrument, mess around with that. edit is pretty similar to the other one, only it's in a drop down menu instead. Cut, copy, paste, edit, transpose, which is song track range. You can transpose anything, change notes on the fly, up and down. And MIDI, all the MIDI options are in here from the other program, only they look more mind-boggling because they're in a pull-down menu. There's also note killing, whatever that does, and settings, of course, is to change the actual settings of the program itself. So that looks like it's quit the program, so that's a good time for me to end this video. Thanks for watching. Good night.